Question number 9, the Honourable Phil Goff.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Prime Minister. Did he ask Tony Abbott to take any action against the supermarket ban on New Zealand products and unfair treatment of New Zealanders living in Australia? If so, what did he ask for?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, yes. I took the opportunity to raise with Prime Minister Abbott the issue of Australia's 2 biggest supermarkets procuring products for their home brands from Australian sources only. I told Prime Minister Abbott that while this practice might be legally consistent with CER, I didn't think it was consistent with the spirit of the agreement. We agreed that New Zealand firms that have specific concerns should make submissions to Australia's competition watchdog, the ACCC, and those with wider concerns should engage with the Australian Competition Policy Review. I also raised the issue of New Zealanders living in Australia with Prime Minister Abbott. We want to see New Zealanders treated fairly in Australia. We also recognise that it's up to the Australian government how it sets its policies, and I'll virtually guarantee for the House that is consistent with what Phil Goff thinks when I have an opportunity in a few moments to read out the very paper he pinned on the topic in 2001. I can't wait. Please fire away with the subs.
Hold your breath, Prime Minister. Mr Speaker.
Order. Supplementary question, Honourable Phil Goff.
When the Prime Minister... When you're ready. When the Prime Minister has just said that the ban imposed by Australian supermarket monopolies on New Zealand goods are consistent with the letter of CER, how does he reconcile that statement with Article 1C of the CER agreement, which sets the objective to eliminate barriers to trade between Australia and New Zealand, and Section 1D, which says the objective of the CER is to develop trade between New Zealand and Australia under conditions of fair competition? And did he actually ask Tony Abbott to honour that agreement?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
For a start off, they're actually not in Australia banning New Zealand products. What they are choosing to do is buy from Australian suppliers for their home brands, which is exactly what they are doing in New Zealand. But I really wish the member was right. If he was right, then of course the government would be able to resolve that issue.
Supplementary question, Honourable Phil Goff.
When the Prime Minister denies that the action by the supermarket monopolies was to ban New Zealand goods, how does he reconcile that statement with the fact that the supermarkets have stated they won't even accept bids from New Zealand producers because they are New Zealand producers?
Right, Honourable Prime Minister.
What the Australian supermarkets are doing in relation to their home brands is buying from Australian suppliers. Mr Speaker, that's also consistent with what is happening in New Zealand. Speaker, I happen to agree with the member that the Australian supermarkets shouldn't do that. As I said yesterday, they should buy from Australasia. But I'm pretty sure if the member wants to come and get a briefing, he might find it's unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, unlikely to be a breach of CER.
Mr Speaker, supplementary question.
Order. Supplementary question. Honourable Phil Goff.
Mr Speaker, in order to promote a resolution of this dispute rather than saying he can't do anything, will the Prime Minister use Article 22, Subclause 2 of the Closer Economic Relationship Agreement, which is designed to deal with a situation where, quote, the achievement of any objective of this agreement is being or may be frustrated? If he won't use Article 22.2, why not?
Right, Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, the government has actually made it clear that it's both looked at the matter, taken advice on the matter, and would progress whatever we could in relation to the matter. I wish the member was right. Unfortunately, the advice is the member's wrong.
Supplementary.
Point of order, the Honourable Phil Goff.
Mr Speaker, as you'll recall, my question was very specific. Will he use Article 22.2? If he doesn't know what it is, fine, he can say
order,
that. He never
order,
answered.
order. the Prime Minister has addressed the question that was asked by the member. Supplementary question, Louise Upston.
Supplementary to the Prime Minister. What reports, if any, has he seen regarding the previous Labor government's support of the 2001 bilateral agreement?
Point of order. Order. Point of order. Grant Robertson.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know what responsibility the Prime Minister has for the actions of the former Labor government.
Yeah, but the question wasn't that. The question was, what reports has the Prime Minister received? I'll listen to the question again.
Supplementary to the Prime Minister. What reports, of any, has he seen regarding support for the 2001 bilateral agreement?
Point of order. Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr. Speaker, the offence with that question is that it has nothing to do with the question Mr. Goff asked at number 9 or any of his supplementaries. It's a totally different matter.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree with the Right Honourable Winston Peters. The question is certainly relevant to the primary question, and I see no reason why it cannot be answered by the Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, yes, I have seen a paper written by the Honourable Phil Goff when he was Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Clearly, the leader of the current leader of the Labor Party, because it changes, has not seen it. So he said the following things. Let's just go through a few. He acknowledged that Australia had the right to determine for itself what additional benefits it would make available to migrant New Zealanders. He said, and I quote, "The new arrangements remove a significant and long-standing irritant from our most important bilateral relationship. The new arrangements preserves New Zealanders and Australia's ability to live and to work in each other's country under the Trans-Tasman relationship." He said it was clear that this government, that they needed some sort of circuit breaker. We look for a fresh approach that would contain the New Zealand taxpayers' fiscal obligation.
Order. That answer is long enough, but for the benefit of Mr. Robertson, I will determine that, and I appreciate the member's assistance. Question number 10. Point of order, the Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Look, I seek leave to table the Trans-Tasman Relationship and New Zealand Perspective 2001 from Phil Goff so that Mr Cunliffe can read it.
That has been satisfactorily explained. Leave us sought to table that particular document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. It can be tabled. It can be tabled. Question number 10, Simon O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My questions to the Minister of Education and